Today, I will be talking about the article by Gail Hornstein called The Return of the Repressed. It focused on the relationship between psychology and psychoanalysts and how the relationship changed over time. This article looked at how psychology and psychoanalysts didn't always agree. At first, psychology pushed psychoanalysts away, but later, some of those ideas started to come back. So, it's really about how the field changed over time. Psychoanalyst was developed by Feud, which focused on the unconscious mind, which is basically thoughts and feelings that we're not fully aware of. It suggests that a lot of our behavior comes from deeper experiences, especially from childhood. And he organized this into three categories: ego, superego, and ID. Why psychology rejected it? At the time, psychology really wanted to be seen just as science, and because psychoanalysts focused on things that couldn't easily be measured, like unconscious thoughts, it was seen as unreliable and got pushed aside. It basically just didn't fit into psychology's goal of being scientific. Even though psychoanalysis was rejected, some of the ideas didn't disappear. They came back later, but in ways that could be tested and measured. The main idea behind the return of the repressed is that psychology began to bring back important ideas from psychoanalysts after they had been pushed away by more strictly scientific approaches like behaviorism. Early on, psychologists focused mostly on observable behavior and ignored things like thoughts, emotions, and the unconscious because they were harder to measure. However, over time, it became clear that you can't fully understand human behavior without looking at what's happening internally. The main idea is that psychology didn't just reject psychoanalysts because it was wrong, it rejected it because it didn't fit what counted as science at the time. This shows that knowledge isn't always just about facts, but also about perspectives and priorities. Freud's ideas about the unconscious, early life experiences, and the importance of talking through emotions helped shape this shift. As a result, modern psychology started to combine scientific research with a deeper understanding of personal experiences. This is why today's psychology includes both evidence based methods and therapies that focus on thoughts, feelings, and past experiences, creating a more complete and human centered approach to understanding behavior and mental health. This stood out to me because mental health isn't something you can always measure perfectly. And that's something I see a lot working with kids. Behavior can tell you part of the story, but it doesn't always explain what's really going on underneath. Learning about the return of the repressed and how the ideas from Freud were brought back helped me understand why both perspectives matter. As someone who wants to go into the mental health field, it made me realize how important it is to look at both behavior and internal experiences like thoughts, emotions, and past experiences matter. You can't fully support someone if you only focus on what you can see. Overall, this article shows that psychology didn't develop in a straight linear way, but instead went through different phases where certain ideas were accepted, rejected, and later brought back in new forms. The return of the concepts from Freud's psychoanalyst highlights how early theories about unconscious and internal experiences were once dismissed, but eventually recognized as important again. This really shows that psychology is constantly evolving and knowledge isn't just built by replacing old ideas, but sometimes by revisiting and reshaping them. It reinforces the idea that even theories that seem outdated can still have value and influence how we understand behavior and mental health today.